You get locked up in LA County Jail. When it comes to the others, the Asians, we are always the smallest group, no matter where you go. When I got locked up in LA County Jail, they were constantly transferring me from place to place to place. One day I was in a cell, the next day I was in a dorm. A few days later after that, I was in a different dorm. Heck, man, I might be in Twin Towers one day and then bam, they might send me off to Wayside 2, 3 days later. So I was always freaking moving. Now, that was just my experience. And, all these videos, I only speak about my experience. I'm not sure what someone else went through. Things might have changed now than what they were before because it's been a while since I've been down. So I'm only speaking on my experience. And I remember I ended up in this tier and inside Twin Towers, and I go into this cell and there's only two other people. It's this older white guy and this Southsider. Now the Southsider, his name is Mousy from Pomona. I'm not sure what his gang was. I don't remember, but I think it was Pomona Sharkies. And I remember that because he had like this tattoo of a shark crunching down on some cherries. And he had this tattoo right here where the mustache is at. It said Pomona in cursive, big old P, Pomona. I thought that was the hardest tattoo ever, man. But yeah, man, I ended up inside this cell, and the whole time I was there, and Mousy was looking out for me. Now, when I got locked up, I went in there broke, man. When I say broke, I didn't have $1 to my name. I didn't have anything. I didn't have money to buy sandals to take a shower. I didn't have food to buy I didn't have money to buy some extra commissary. Shoot, man, I didn't have money to buy stamps, bro. Like I was dead broke. Because the Asians were the minority, when I ended up on the tier, there was nobody there but me. I was the only homie on that tier. So, I had no one else to ask to see if they can help me out. If they had some shower shoes I could borrow, or maybe they had a couple extra soups, or maybe a stamp or something like that. So, I was the only one, and I had to look out for myself. And I got lucky. I got so lucky that Mousy, he actually looked out for me. Now, I'm not sure what the rules are and what the regulations for the Southsider program. But, when it comes to the others, our program isn't as strict. And it's a little bit, not saying that it isn't structured, but it's a little bit more loose where we have a little bit more reins to do things, okay? We can share food. We can make a spread. We can share it with somebody. It might not be the same for every other group that's in there, but for the others, at least in my experience, it wasn't as strict. All right. Now, when I say Mousy looked out for me, he looked out for me. I think it was because of my get down. When I got in there, I was very respectable. The white guy, I had the top bunk, and the white guy was on the bottom bunk, and I didn't. He didn't move immediately when I first got in, so I waited for him, to actually move off the bunk so I can actually set my things down. I can kind of, settle inside the cell. And, Mousy, he started taking note of that. I would read every day. I would work out every day. Every day I would shower, and then I would also, clean the cell. I kept to myself, and that was just me, just programming. And Mousy, I remember he would always mention to like the white guy, like, hey, look at T, man. Hey, you should be like him, bro. He's programming, and Mousy, he did his thing too. And the thing about Mousy, he was actually he held the keys to that tier when I was there. Every morning he would get up, Buenos dias. They'll do the roll call every single freaking morning, And when I say he looked out for me, it was the small things, all right? Now, when you work out, you're sweaty. So Mousy, he had this extra pair of sandals. And, at the time, there wasn't that much conflict inside the jail cells. When I say conflict, the blacks and the Mexicans, they weren't, having that much conflict and rioting inside the streets. And the others, they weren't having that much drama, because you got to remember, at one point, shoot, man, the Asians, man, they were greenlit. They were greenlit by the freaking mafia. So it was just on sight that the freaking Asians you know, and the Mexicans, it was just popping off like that. But when I went in, that time, you know, it was kind of calm. So there wasn't that much drama. And Mousy, man, he was dope as hell. He was fighting life. You know, I was facing life. You know, so we had a mutual background, and the respect was really there. But when I say he looked out for me, it was the small things. Whenever the sheriffs or the COs, they'll open the cells to let all the inmates go out and take a shower, Mousy would be like, "Hey, I got extra sandals. So if you want to take a shower, you can use them. You know, just make sure you dry them off. You take care of it. You know, you can bird bath while you know we take our showers. Just make sure it's cool. You know." And I was like, "Man, what? Really? Is that cool? Is that cool with your peoples? I don't really know the rules like that and how you guys get down. But hey, if you say it's cool, man, I'm cool with that. You know, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just here to do my time, and I'm here to fight my case." So, you know, they will let everybody out. They'll go shower, and while they're out showering, you know, I would just, you know, fill up the sink. You know, I'll bird bath. I do my thing, use the sandals, and after I'm done, I'll dry up the freaking cell, the floors, you know, with the towel, wring it out, wash the floors real quick one more time, make sure it's clean. So by the time Mousy and the white guy came back, the cell was clean. It didn't even look like I took a shower. But Mousy knew. He knew, man. Like every day I would program, and every day they'll let them out, and they'll go ahead and, you know, he'll let me borrow the sandals. So that was dope as hell. And then in addition to that, you know, he slid me some food. He knew that, you know, working out was my thing. But, you know, when you get locked up in jail, it's not a 5-star resort, bro. Like, you don't get the best foods, and you don't get the nutrition that you truly need. They're there just to make sure you're alive and you're not dead. So, you know, Mousy, he would slide me some soups here and there, you know, and he would actually give me. This is the first time I actually ate a spread, and it was like the weakest spread ever, but to me it was so good. You know, Mousy ended up giving me a soup one time, and I made like this spread where it was just the noodles. I saved the bologna, and I also got like Cheez-Its. It was Tabasco Cheez-Its. That was the first time I ever had Tabasco flavored Cheez-Its. I crunched it up, poured it inside the freaking the spread. Freaking chef's kiss right there. So good. Oh man, I can still remember it to this day. But it was the small little things, and that Mousy looked out for me, you know, and he always had my respect for that. And I think he respected me just the way I moved, the way that I programmed every single day. You know, the crazy thing about that is, like, society calls people like myself, people like Mousy, monsters. But even monsters can show humanity. And, you know, real recognizes real. And when you treat people with respect, you get it back, even in the darkest of places. So, you know, when it comes to people's appearances and their background or their skin color, you shouldn't judge anyone. You know, my whole time I was in jail and in prison, it taught me one thing about respect, and it's that it doesn't matter about your race, your skin color. Respect only cares about how you move. And honestly, I didn't, you know, expect that much respect from someone that was fighting life. You know, but it showed me one main thing, is that how you move tells everyone who you are before you even open your mouth. Hey, you guys, if you guys loved the video, you guys liked the video, it made you think, it made you feel something, it made you remember maybe your prison stink, maybe the time you were locked down, you know, you can always support the channel, man. This channel, I'm trying to help the younger generation of young men, young women that's coming up behind us, the future generations of, you know, society, become better people. And if you want to support my channel, there's a like button, there's a subscribe button, you can share this video, you can even leave a comment to help with the algorithm and some engagement, man. And hopefully you guys can support me in this journey that I'm doing and trying to build out this platform. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. And Mousy, if you're out there, bro, much respect to you, dog. I hope you're doing well. I hope you freaking beat your case, dog. And I hope you're home, you're out in P-Town doing your thing, dog. I guess I'll catch you guys next time in the next video. Peace.